there's a fundamental principle. Whatever you focus your attention on gets energy. So if you flush something up from the unconscious by some methodology, you focus energy on it, it gets stronger. So when you're working with this, what you're doing is you're looking for a pattern or a symptomology that is there. You're not flushing it up, you're just taking the essence and removing it. So what you often find with a lot of the, because psychology is a relatively modern science, they don't really understand what it's all about. And so when they're flushing things up, it can be as problematic as it was before they flushed it up. You understand it in a different way.
And also, if you think back to psychology, which now is sort of a study of the mind, psychology actually originally meant the logic of the soul. Psyche, psychology. Psyche is the soul. Second part of the word is logic, soul logic. So there is a logic to these things. We just can't see them. We can't see. There's a logic to this thought. It came from something. There's a logic to why the person's behaving in that way. There's a logic to the fears. But they're just beyond the reach of the conscious mind. We have to do everything in keeping with the timing of the soul's journey of growth and evolution. We can never steal from the soul's experience of what it needs to learn and understand. Does that make sense to you? We can't steal from the soul. So we may be dealing with something and then we may 6 months later find we've got another aspect that's come up because now it's ready to come up. The seeds are seeds, they come up when they're ready. We can plant seeds. And that, if you think about the word tohuna, or in Hawaii, the word kahuna, huna is secrets and seeds. And the tohuna is the sower of the seeds. And in other words, knowing when to sow the seeds. So part of your job is knowing when to sow the seeds. Have you done the preparation for sowing the seeds? It's that weed, feed, seed model that you will have heard us talk about, that if we liken it to a garden, we have to weed the garden. In other words, we give them ferns to clear the trauma. It's like weeding the garden. We then are going to balance the soil, which is the chakras. We balance the chakras so that we can then plant the new seed. And the seed has the best chance of surviving and doing well. Whereas if you have an overgrown garden that hasn't been tended for years, and you're going to go plant seeds in there, it's not the smartest gardening technique, is it? What you're going to do is to go in and clear and make sure the soil can take the new seed. And then you're going to plant your seed at the right time. And that's that skill and ability that each and every one of us, that's that other brain, that part that knows when it's time to put the seed essences in. We weeded, and is that ground now ready? But also, you're listening to your client because your client will tell you, and that's the soul speaking, I'm sick of this. I want to change. I don't want this pattern in my life. I don't want to be like my mother, or I don't want to have this pattern, or I'm so sick of it. They'll tell you. And that's that readiness. The soil's ready. So, wisdom of the tohuna, knowing when to plant these seeds and having done the preparation for that. But you see, even if we've done no preparation, we might never see that person again, and we put seed essences in there, then remember the tohuna doesn't stick around to wait to see if the seeds have come up. They know the seeds are going to come up, they're moving on because they've got other seeds to sow. So you may not, in your time with that person, see evidence of the change. But even putting one seed in there, the seed, remember, will find the slightest little crack, the slightest little place, And remember, when people come to see you, inevitably they are in pain, they are in difficulty, they are fragile, they are open, they are ready. They don't come to you when, you know, it's all kind of hunky-dory and their facade is nicely in place. You know, their persona, their mask is all tight and groovy. They come and they're kind of cracking wide open, or the cracks are starting to show. You know, perfect time to be popping in there, the little seeds of light.